Hello, welcome to the Old School RPG episode 5. I am Isaac Childress, the GM of this Gloomhaven RPG experience, and with me I have 3 wonderful players who should introduce themselves, starting with whoever wants to introduce themselves first.
I'll go. I'm Adrian. I play Llewellyn. I'm the human Doomstalker who is obsessed with the idea that Doom follows him wherever he goes.
I'll go next. I'm John Arana, an old school friend of Isaac's, and I'm playing Narvis, Vermling Soothsinger that has big dreams of being a metal rock star.
And I'm Alice, playing Amathea, the orchid scoundrel, who's kind of a bit of a, we'll say, goth emo girl who's learning to make some friends.
Awesome. And yeah, so we are in the middle of a campaign, obviously, like we're in episode 5. And what has happened so far is this ragtag group of mercenaries agreed to protect a wagon on its journey from Wayward back to Gloomhaven. But they never really got the chance to do so because the wagon went missing. It was stolen by a group of drakes that lifted it and carried it off into the mountains. These drakes were controlled by a Volrath from a secret Volrath separatist group called Heritage, and they wanted what was inside the wagon, which was potions, apparently, that unlocked their demonic potential. So they chased the wagon up into the mountains, where they ended up having to fight some undead and some drakes, and they eventually found the Volrath who was leading the drakes and befriended her. And that's how they kind of got the story about, how all this is going down. They were also basically just like too exhausted to fight her anyway, so that was really the only option. So they're all sitting around the campfire now, waiting for the rest of this Volrath's group to show up in the following day. But while they've been waiting around chatting with this friendly drake tamer Volrath, some of her drakes have dropped in upon them their original employer, a man by the name of Derek. It was his wagon that was stolen, and he was just been unceremoniously dropped into the middle of their group, and we're gonna find out why and what's going on now. Is that good for a recap? Anybody have any questions or, I don't know, things I missed?
That's good name.
No, I think that worked.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah, so Derek is on the ground in front of you. He looks incredibly injured. Lots of scratches, maybe a broken bone or two, not really sure. He doesn't look in good shape, and he's just sitting there, groaning. What, if anything, do you do?
Let's look over to him and at least check. I mean, I would like to check he's still alive and or functional.
I mean, it's apparent that he's alive, at least through his groans.
Yeah.
How would you
He's
like
not
to check whether
undead.
he's
Let's
functional?
get
Yes, I
let's get
suppose it could
close.
be undead and groaning, but yes,
That happens all the time.
it does happen all the time.
Parts, yeah. Yeah, it's bad for business to have one of our band sponsors die on us. So
Yeah.
I vote for tending to him if we can.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine we run right to him.
Yep. Let's
Okay.
run over, make sure he's okay.
All right. Yeah, I mean it's pretty apparent that he's alive, that he's not undead at this point. And yeah, he doesn't appear to have any like serious broken bones or anything. I feel like maybe some of his ribs might be bruised. He's pretty tender in that area. Doesn't like you touching there. And yeah, there's like bruises, lots of bruises, like all over his body, or at least his visible body. And like I said, lots of scratches, like he's bleeding from various places. And he's just kind of like whimpering as you check him, like not really saying much, just like
You're right there, sir.
Yeah, keep it together, man. You're making us look all bad.
Did you say you wanted to attempt to heal him or anything of that nature, or just bind his wounds, or what's the goal?
I think we should. Who's the best at it? Although I'd say I'm not exactly a healer per se.
Yeah, I don't think. Do any of you have any healing skills?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
I could throw knives at him.
Heal him with knives.
Scalpel.
Power of song.
All right. Well, I think you could at least bind up his wounds, probably with a knowledge check. See what sort of first aid knowledge you might have in order to do so. And you'll probably want to get some cloth or whatever that you could. I mean, you could probably use some of his clothing if you want, or if you have any other cloth in your inventory that you wanted to use.
I think we should use his stuff to bind up his things. I think let's
Okay.
walk over. We need to make sure this guy has our money, so we need him in good condition. This is very important to us.
What if I think this would be funnier. Narvis kind of like rips off his sleeves and invents the first sleeveless kind of metal band shirt.
All right.
In doing so,
I literally had a friend at a show do that in the middle of the show where he bought merch, just tore the sleeves.
Hell yeah, dude.
So yeah, I think that fits Narvis.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
It's never gonna catch on as I look at it.
Does anybody have, I don't know,
We can.
disinfectant of any kind?
No, we
alcohol.
don't. I have a poison dagger though.
I have a
Again,
stamina potion.
You have infectant.
That's the opposite of what we're looking for.
I mean, I've got torches.
Will
You want to do it the old that way.
Okay, maybe.
I don't really have any
I think we should
alcohol.
invest it. What do we get back? Bandages.
Boil
Alright.
some water. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, got the fire there. Sure. Okay. So, Narvis, you want to make a knowledge check? Or I guess Llewellyn has the highest knowledge. He might know the most about first aid.
Llewellyn,
Yeah.
save our blessed person granting us money. Hopefully, he still gives us money.
I'll take Narvis's torn sleeve and just kind of shake my head like, what a ridiculous look. And then I think I'm gonna use this dark secret here and give myself a curse and try and bind his wounds.
All right.
And I hope he doesn't find out that we might be working with this person now. He might not pay us anymore.
Don't say that out loud.
Oh, you got your curse. Or no. There's your curse.
All right, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, that's good.
That's huge.
Awesome. Yeah, so you work, you're like, oh yeah, I know everything about first aid. I've seen a lot of injuries in my day and know how to fix them. As you're doing this, pretty much like as you start, the Valrath, who I think I named her Karin, but I'm not sure. Does anybody remember what I named her?
That's what I got.
Yep.
What was the name?
Helen, Kelyn.
Oh, Kellen. Kellen, that's what it was. Okay. Thank you.
And takes notes. Good job.
Yeah, so you can see Kellen is kind of, looking at all of you a little suspiciously. This kind of just an eyebrow raised. You kind of see one of the drakes that dropped Derek kind of approach her, and it almost looks like they're having a conversation. It's just like and then as you're binding him up, she asks, who is this man to you?
I'll speak up, and I'll say the truth, right? I mean, it's not that bad of a situation. I'll tell her this is a middleman that was paying us to take this wagon to a specific location. But I'm sure he'll listen to your plight just as we did, and try to help.
Oh, he better. Yeah. See, he's agreeing.
He lets out a little bit of pee.
Very well. You can fix him up, and then we can have a conversation with him.
Yeah, I'll try to kind of deflect blame away from him. Like, he's not the owner of this thing. He was just a middleman being paid just like us to move it. Nobody knew what was in there, including him. So hopefully that'll calm her down a bit, maybe.
Hopefully, because she's terrifying.
Okay. Yeah. So, she says my superiors have been tracking him since he has left White Oak, but I myself am not fully aware of the situation. But when my superiors come tomorrow, we can sort all this out. But I'm not sure how we can leave him alive.
Okay.
I'll try to stress again. I mean, he's just a middleman. He's an imbecile. He didn't even know how much he should pay us. We had to tell him.
Well, some message
This man is no threat to you.
Needs to be sent to the Merchants Guild, but perhaps we will see what kind of message that is, whether it's a dead body or just severely maimed one who can deliver a verbal message for us as well.
I think the latter might be better. Man, you just maim him a little bit, keep him alive. And that way they can get a clear message of what you're trying to relay.
Me.
He can carry more information if he's still alive.
We could get in good with the Merchants Guild and give that information to you, but he won't trust us if he's been beat up willingly in our presence.
Well, I will think on it. So yeah, you bandage up Derek pretty well, and give him a little bit of food and water to recover. And it's a few, it's maybe 10-20 minutes go by where he just continues to whimper until he finally kind of makes more of a croaking sounds. What's going on here?
Is anyone
That's a very complicated question.
You had a bad dream.
Oh, okay.
We
It
saved
feels
you.
real.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, unfortunately, you went from that bad dream to this worst nightmare. And I'll try to kind of quietly explain the situation. Say, listen, Bob, we're outmatched here, and it'll be wise to just play along.
Sorry, how loudly are you saying this? You try
No,
to
quietly
to him,
discreetly, if possible.
Okay.
I feel like Narvis's plan to play both sides is the potential to backfire.
Yeah, dude.
Fine.
He just kind of.
I just try to give us enough time to kind of recuperate a little bit and maybe have more options.
Sure.
Is there any? Does she just kind of chill here? We're just all around the fire. Is there ever moments where we don't have her immediately in front of us? Or maybe I could distract her while Narvis fills him into the new information.
Sure. Yeah.
Also,
I mean, this is a situation. You're kind of all just sitting around this fire.
Yeah. So I'll be like, all right, so first I came from the Misty Sea, and that was a long boat ride. It took me quite a while to get to Gloomhaven, but there was a storm. So, just going on a very, very long story to just get her completely distracted so Narvis can, give him the lowdown so he doesn't start panicking when he realizes, hey, this person and the wagon and stuff, and there's dragons. Drakes.
All right. Amathea, do you want to make a influence check to see how well you distract her?
I'm gonna do meditative for this because this is important, but that requires me to discard a card to do it. So that gets which one's the discard?
Point of order, real quick. While we were
that's
waiting for him to become conscious again,
Sure.
did we gain any benefits from a short breath or whatever?
Sure. I mean, if you want to take a breath, you can certainly do that.
Okay. And what benefits does that grant again? Background?
Yeah, you're gonna lose one of your discard cards and then put the rest back into your stamina pile, and then you get your backgrounds back.
Okay.
All right. That's a. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say let's get some background cards back.
Well, if I'm gonna just try to draw with a 4, a +4 that is. So that's an 8 with the background.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you'd been thinking about this plan for a while and fully meditated upon the thought of needing to distract her.
And I
And
have a
so-
long story, and told in an immersive and not boring way. So
Yeah.
hopefully that keeps her attention.
Pretty immersive. So John, yeah, let's see what happened here. You had 3 cards in your discard pile, and now you have 2 cards in your discard pile.
Oh,
What
yeah, I
did you
thought you said I could recover one from my discard pile.
No, so you lose 1 from your discard pile and then get the other 2 back into your stamina.
Oh,
So-
okay.
And then all your backgrounds too.
So yeah, just lose like one of these. We'll just randomize it.
Boop.
And then your other one can go back in here.
Cool.
All right. Okay, so yeah, she seems pretty distracted. And so what would you like to communicate to Eric?
Yeah, basically, don't panic, play along until some more options kind of occur or open up for us. And yeah, just kind of overall encourage him not to kind of freak out or, try to pin us against her at this time. Yeah, man, just play along. We're kind of outmatched right now. We need some more options to open up for us. If we try to take her on right now, it's going to be a lost fight.
Just so you know, when you tell me not to panic, that only makes me panic more. I'm starting to freak out a little bit.
Do you want me to choke you out again? I can do
No,
that.
no,
I can do
no,
that for you.
please. I'll keep it together. Just what should I do? I don't understand what the plan is.
Just play dumb, okay? I think you're
Oh,
good
okay.
at that.
I could
Play
do that.
dumb. Don't tell them that this is your property, and you're gonna be okay.
But it is my property.
Don't say that. That will get you killed, man. You owe us too much money for that to happen.
Okay, but I agreed to pay you at least a lot of money to get this wagon back. So how are we going to do that?
This is how we're gonna get it back. We're gonna get this wagon back, man. Don't worry about it. We're just gonna wait and see what happens, and once we see our opportunity, we're gonna pounce. We're gonna pounce into action, and get out of here with this wagon. All right. When you see me doing this, that's your signal. Okay, that's when you need to act and get ready to run with us.
Okay.
Llewellyn is so gassed. He has no health, no cards, nothing. And tying this man's wounds together was more than enough. He's just slumped down somewhere. He just can't deal with any of Derek's nonsense right now.
Fair. Okay, so until I see that signal, I'm a nobody and I know nothing, right?
Yeah. Oh, can I change the signal? Can I retcon? Just
Sure.
because it'll be more in character. When you see me go like this, that's the signal.
All right. I'll do my best. All I can offer you.
What was that?
Also,
That's all he can offer.
also,
best.
Okay, yeah.
where are the donkeys?
There.
Good.
Oh,
Good question. Yeah, it's another piece of the puzzle that I'm working on. Okay, just hold on.
So you know where the donkeys are?
Let me
Those
get back to
donkeys
you
are
on that.
very special to me. Mean a
I'm
lot.
like, I'm sure they're parked outside, man. It's not. I'm sure nothing else sinister or macabre happened to them. We'll get to them later. We'll try to save them too.
Okay.
All right.
So comforting.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you make an influence check just to see how well all of that landed and sunk in for him?
Let me do that. Turn on my player interface here. Here we go.
Oh, that's crit success.
Ooh. Don't mind if I do. Would you look at that?
All right. Yeah, the conversation seems to have gone very well, and you've instilled your own confidence in Derek, and he's seems fully together and ready to do whatever you need him to do.
Cool. Yeah, I guess beyond that and just trying to overall just rest.
Yeah.
I'm keeping an eye open, just so you know, I'm keeping an eye open to see if there's like a window of opportunity where like maybe the drakes fly off and leave her alone, Kellen, or you know, anything else out of the ordinary that might create an opportunity for us. I'm just kind of keeping my eyes peeled.
All
An
right.
opportunity to what? Take the wagon?
How about this? And I just got an idea.
All right.
What if I trained a drake myself to carry one of these wagons out with us? I'm gonna start practicing, trying to kind of sing to the drakes, just like Kellen taught me a little bit.
Sure.
Genius.
Yeah. I mean, she'll even help you.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh my gosh. This is our way out, you guys. Feel free to come up with some other ideas.
No, I like
that
the
I could
idea.
come up with.
This idea is genius.
This is the best idea. We'll lure the drakes into like following us, and we'll get the wagon back and then move it to Gloomhaven, exactly as planned.
Right? There's only a couple of things that can go wrong with that series of events.
I'd say a few, at least a few things that could go very wrong during that whole sequence.
Yeah. Just one or two.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm watching my son play right outside the window here, and he just he has like a little stick that he kind of uses as a cane, and he actually like used it to like stand up on his own and like take a few steps before he fell down all on his own.
Oh my god!
It's like
That's the moment.
it's a moment.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You take a break, dude.
No, I'm all good. But it was fun to see.
Yeah, that's adorable.
There's his first steps. No.
I mean, like, I don't know.
Like
I think
solo.
Yeah, he might have gotten help, and he's kind of like using a cane, so it's.
Hey, man.
But whatever works.
Yeah,
anyway, we're getting there. It's exciting.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna practice some more with the drakes, and Llewellyn's just out of it, and Amethea's just continuing her long saga of her life.
It's very long. It's decades.
And that kind of puts you all to sleep more or less, unless you have anything you want to do tonight. But yeah, I think the goal here is just to actually finally take a long rest and everybody
please
healed up.
Yeah, take a full rest and let Narvis learn some Dragon Force.
Oh my god.
Dragon
Yeah, start
Force.
playing through the fire and flame.
They're pretty great live.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be a
Hooray.
new band name.
Oh yes.
All right. Well, let's do that then. Let's do a full rest. So yeah, everybody can get back all of their cards.
Woo.
You can even swap out some cards if you would like, from those that are in your pool with those that are in your hands. Yeah, reset all your backgrounds, shuffle your modifier decks. You can fully regain your hit points. I guess.
Do we
Derek,
pull all curses out of our deck?
yeah, pull all curses out of your deck.
Sweet.
Oh,
Or
is there an
less.
easy way to do that?
I have 2 curses.
I don't think there's an easy way to do that. But I mean, you could just here hold them out. So yeah, that should be good. I will also do that for the monsters. All right, and then I am going to give you another 25 experience for
Nice.
successfully navigating the day, fighting some drakes, and befriending the Drake tamer.
Yay.
All right.
Which should put you up to level 2.
Da, 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 da.
Oh,
Da-da-da.
I did it.
So at level 2, I'm
25
not
more XP?
yeah. I'm not sure fully like what this mod is capable of for higher levels. But what would normally happen when you level up is, I mean, first of all, you get a new class ability card. So you can certainly do that. So I think your level 2 cards are in this stack down below your hand. That's right here for John. So you can pick one of those to add to your pool, which you can then immediately swap into your hand since you're resting.
are there any ancestry options or not at 2nd level?
Not at
Third.
2nd level. Yeah, they come every other level. So at 3rd,
Okay.
yeah, you'll just get one additional card. You don't even have to choose. It's just like another card that you add to your pool.
Awesome.
Your max hit points will increase. Yes, that's just going to be 1 more hit point for each of you, which I will do on your standees here. Let's see what else. You'll gain an additional skill, which the character sheets are currently only outfitted for 3 skills, but I can give you like note cards or something if you want. To write a 4th skill on, and you at this point, like at level 2, you'd probably have like a few more skill options as well. But for now, we'll just use the skill options that are currently available, which you can find in the rule book.
You said we get a level 2 card to place in our pool, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So you're taking Soothing Lullaby. So basically, you have your stamina deck up here. You could swap out any number of cards from your pool with cards that are currently in your deck.
Yeah.
You probably want to at least swap out that level 2 card because it's better than your level 1 cards.
Right.
Where are the the skills are over here.
And then you'll also get a perk. However, we don't have the RPG perk cards. Though I think we can use board game perk cards. I mean, they don't have. No wait. We have the.
We have the board game perk cards. Some of them, like the ones that
Yeah.
are remove, at least should be doable because you can remove stuff pretty easily.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to, even if it's like replace, like basically you just have
Right.
to remember what the skill number is, or the
Right.
attribute number is on that new card that you're adding.
Right.
And yeah, like most things, like we're kind of starting the RPG stuff like from Gloomhaven Second Edition, and then there's still like development we're doing. So this might not stay the same as now, but that's what it is currently. But anyway,
That's fair.
yeah. So you're gonna pick a skill, a perk, a card, and yeah, give you time to do that, and then we can move on from there. And let me know if there are any questions.
That. Oh, that's good.
Oh, done.
When
Do attributes go up? Kind of forgot to look it up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, yes, that happens too. Yeah, I think I forgot about that when I wrote up character progression. That was silly. Anyway, yes, you gain 2 more attribute points that you can put in whatever you want. But now you just can't increase an attribute above 4 because it's always level plus 2.
Fantastic.
Thank you for the reminder.
I remember reading that, but I'm like, I don't feel like going through the rule book right now.
So Isaac, if I'm choosing a combat perk here,
Yeah.
I can't check it on the character sheet itself, right? I just have to do the thing.
Yeah, just do the thing.
Okay. So if I wanted this, replace 1 -1 card with a +0 card.
Yep.
Just
Plus
do
your
that.
stun card. Yeah, so just finds the -1 with the 1 attribute score on it, and then we'll find
Cool.
the
I'm
plus
gonna
0
do that.
stun.
And you have those extra cards.
Yeah,
right?
this is the card you're gonna replace it with, and then you'll just have to remember that should have a 2 attribute on it. Actually, we could probably put like a sticker on it. Now that I think about it, that
This
would
is
be
a
the easy
one-
way to do it.
Ugh, I'm laggy. I'm just gonna dig through for the -1 card here.
Oh, sure. I'll find it for you. Yeah, here it is.
Sweet.
So take that out, add that in. Let me just gonna put a description on here.
And put that in, and we get to shuffle our modifier decks, right? On long rest.
Yeah. Here. Sorry. 1 second.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted to note what the attribute score on there was. Okay. So yeah, you can then just take all these cards and shuffle them all together.
Sweet.
2 of these.
Then my hit point goes up by 1.
Both of these same. One.
Adrian, have you selected your perk yet?
I haven't selected my perk, no.
Okay. You're
Where are the list
rebuilding
of
your
perks?
hand.
Yeah.
You're the bottom page.
Oh,
You
oh,
can-
yeah, there. Okay. Rolling stun. Probably. I will take the rolling stun.
Okay, so just add a rolling stun.
It's bees.
Oh, that's weird. This card doesn't have a rolling symbol on it.
That's not final.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll just add rolling to the description here as a reminder, and then also put a +1 on that.
We cut that card.
Oops.
I don't want to cut any of these cards, Isaac. They all do exactly what I want them to do. It's got to be one of these on the top, I think. Guess it's flip snare.
Oh, I guess when you long rest, you should also take out the blesses in your deck.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to do that too.
Yeah. So has everyone finished leveling up at this point?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
All right.
I
Let's
think
just.
so. Oh, did you say attributes change?
Oh yeah, you get 2 attribute points.
2 attribute
Oh.
points, and can they go over 3, or is 3 still the cap?
The cap is your level +2. So when you go to level 2, your new cap is 4.
All right.
But while John is doing that, why don't we start with Adrian, and you can just kind of briefly say what you got for leveling up.
Sure. So I decided to stay on my focus and my knowledge a little bit. I think Llewellyn's finding a little bit more self-assuredness and tenacity, but still not enough to really modify his influence. He's still kind of a little bit of a bumbler, so his athletics and finesse didn't really go anywhere, but trying to do a little bit more meditation, a little more self-introspection, so his focus went up, and he's learned a lot on his adventures, both about himself and the world around him. I took Set Snare as my new skill, which allows me to discard a card, much like my other skills, to essentially make a trap. Trap becomes a finesse check for the opponent, or they become stuck. Now, my finesse isn't that great, but I still think it's kind of funny. I can still imagine theming this around any kind of random hazard that could happen to something that fits the theme of the character. So that is the skill that I took. I took a rolling stun when I leveled up as a perk because stuns are very strong. and I have no idea what we're going to have to face. But if it involves lots of drakes, anything we can do to save us an action would be nice. And the skill or the card I took was Dual Bow, which has 2 effects. One, it lets me shoot 2 targets at 5 range, and I really found myself wanting to hit at 5 range several times last session. So this will give me the ability to do it twice, and potentially trigger anything that might work off of that. And it also has a doom on the bottom, so that I can really continue leaning into dooms. This one's always is nice because it has an effect when the enemy dies as well, where I basically get a bonus curse on top of it. And we've seen how awesome curses are. And those are all the choices I made.
All right. John, are you ready to talk about your level up?
Yeah, I think so. So starting with the stat increases, I chose to just kind of keep going with my current fortes, which are influence and finesse. As far as the class skill, I obtained Soothing Lullaby, which is able to, if I play a song for 10 minutes, put someone to sleep. Hit point went up by 1, and the combat perk that I chose was to lose a minus or replace a -1 card with a +0 stun 2 card. And I'm trying to remember. I already shuffled it into my deck. I'm trying to remember the extra card that I got for my level 2 deck.
Here it is. Soothing Lullaby. Fitting that, it was your ability card and also your skill that you got.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so that is a song that just heals your allies.
Yes, that's why I got it, because I felt like the team could use some extra support heals.
Yeah, or the bottom action disarms a monster.
Mm-hmm. And I think that covers all my upgrades, yeah?
I think so. Alice, what about you?
All right. So I feel like for character development, her influence has gone up because she's gotten more used to not being as so introspective on everything and focusing more on in the moment, and occasionally having to bust into song because we are learning the power of friendship. But also, she's been incredibly stabby and stealthy, so I figured keeping the finesse would also fit her character as well.
Yeah.
So she picked the ability Surprise, with an exclamation point. When I'm invisible to a creature, I gain a bonus against attribute or the next attribute or attack affecting them. So if ever using Into the Shadows and want to like manipulate something, I might be able to like use those in tandem to pull off cool skills, or maybe, if we need to ambush something, who knows?
Yeah.
The perk was a semi-boring one. I removed a -2 from the deck, which I always love doing. But it also removes a 1 skill modifier, so it actually makes the skills more reliable as well. So kind of goes both ways there.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong perk.
And I took the card Stick to the Shadows, mostly for the bottom, but I like the top as well. Top is just that buffs your next 3 attacks with +1 attack and poison, which is okay. That's perfectly fine. But also, the bottom is a temporarily invis with a move. Move with a little bit of invis is really good, given the fact that I have really strong initiatives anyway on it. So it basically means I can kind of just poof for a whole round. So feeling good about that choice as well.
All right, cool. So yeah, you take a long rest. Did you want to do like watches, or you just kind of depending on the drakes to watch over you, or you're in a pretty safe area, as long as you're not, I don't know, concerned about Kellen or the drakes doing anything bad.
Like, if they want to set upon us, we have no chance anyway.
Yeah.
True. So yeah, I'll leave it up to the team. Sounds like no watch.
No watch.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, you wake up in the morning feeling very refreshed. All right, so we are all rested. We are all leveled up. We are ready to go to face the new day. So you all, wake up around the same time, more or less, as the sun is coming up and lighting up the area. You notice that there's another drake that seems to be conversing or something with Kellen. She's kind of over here a little bit, and then she turns to you and says, "Oh, good, you are awake. It sounds like my brothers and sisters will be here in a couple of hours. So we can have a nice morning, and then we will open the safe and take what is ours." Yes, so she says that the rest of her group will be here in a couple hours, and yeah, what do you want to do about that? What do you want to do?
Is
Alright.
Derek freaking out?
Good question.
Oh, Derek's pretty chill. Derek's actually still asleep.
Okay, that's fair. Stay that way.
Yes.
Harvest. What's the plan,
Isaac,
Harvest?
can I ask you a question? How many drakes are in here? Because right now it looks like we have the carriage and Kellen. So I was curious to see if there's more than I can.
Sorry, yeah, sure. So I mean, yeah, she's kind of, there's one over here conversing with her. But I mean, basically, throughout your entire time, like in this area, you very frequently notice like the drakes kind of like crawling around up on the ridges that surround this valley or whatever. What do we call it?
Okay.
I can't think of the right word, but anyway, yeah. So like, based on your previous like estimates, right? Like when you saw like kind of large group of drakes together, like flying around, there were like somewhere around like 30 of them, and you killed a good number of them, maybe around 10 or so. But yeah, so you estimate there might be 20, 25 drakes just around the area. That you can't really tell like where they are
Oh, geez.
exactly. They're just kind of
Okay.
crawling around.
Okay. What do you guys think? I would like to bust out into my sleepy song right now, but I'll converse first with my teammates here to kind of get consensus on what our plan should be. Yeah, I'll start by asking them like,
I could if I can get her to listen to a song for 10 minutes, I can put her to sleep for sure.
Do you know a
But-
song that's 10 minutes long?
Oh hell yeah.
That's on the short end for him.
I know many songs. Should we try to make a break for it right now or stick around longer?
I feel like the more we wait for her friends to arrive, the more involved we become. I
And
feel
let
like
our
that's
chances go.
that's a
Our chances go down, I think, when there's more.
and yeah, once their friends show up and they're only a couple hours away.
Mm-hmm.
So, Isaac, while we've been here, did it look like the Drakes were kind of obeying her commands even while she was not directly commanding them? Like, do they look like more like allies or more like puppets kind of thing?
Yeah, well, I mean, they seem friendly to her, right? And so, yeah, she doesn't have to be like playing a song constantly in order for them to
Okay.
be friendly. But yeah, like if she needs them to do something like specific, then that's kind of like when the song begins.
Okay. I'm gonna start tuning my power lute. Bone breaker, I think we called it. And
Yeah. Bone crusher, bone breaker. I don't remember now. Bone slayer.
Bone slayer.
yeah,
I like
Bone
that.
Slayer.
Bone slayer. It is. Writing it down. That means it's forever. So yeah, I'll start tuning my lute, and I'm gonna start plucking on the lute here, and I'm going to I just kind of be like, oh, let me play a nice tune while we wait for your friends to arrive in a couple of hours. And I'll start getting into my song, and I'm going to try to use my skill. Let's see if I can zoom over to it.
Is it possible to like just kind of wander around the area to see if we can find the mules?
Oh yeah.
Maybe bring
Yeah.
Derek along. Be like, hey, Derek, come take a walk with.
Yeah, while
Sure,
I
yeah, if
go
you
into
wanna-
my song, or do you want to do it before? It could be 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
Probably
they weren't far away when we started, but they might have moved or they might have been eaten by trains.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of.
All right.
So
Very,
I leave
very
it to
afraid
you
of.
guys.
that.
I leave it to you guys. I'll start working on our way out while I play this jam.
And yeah, I guess to the tune of Enter Sandman,
Uh-huh.
feels appropriate, right? I'm gonna start playing my power lute and singing my lyrics here to try to get specifically her to go to sleep. So I'm just gonna be like, say your prayers, big one. Don't forget your drinks to include everyone. Tuck you in, warm within, keep your feet from sin till their friends from I don't know where come. I can keep going. Sleep with one eye open.
You got 10 minutes, buddy. You gotta go.
Exit light. Enter night. Take my hand. We're off to Never Never Land. And just keep going for 10 minutes.
Okay, so and you said Llewellyn and Amathea were gonna go look around for the
Yeah.
They're working on our escape route. Or
I think I'm gonna-
escape vehicle.
I think I'm gonna try to attuning myself because I've always been in focus the whole time. I'm gonna burn meditative, and I'm
Yeah.
going to try to clue myself into things that were different, that might lead us to clues to where those unfortunate beings might have been dragged off to or ran off to or anything of the sorts. So
Right.
that's a
Yeah. Sure. So yeah, I mean, you kind of head back down the hill to where you encountered the drakes previously, and where you had left the donkeys kind of sheltering behind a rock.
oh
Well, I mean, that's where you had left them,
That's where we left
Uh,
him.
right?
yeah.
I mean, unless
like
I'm mistaken.
150 feet down.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds
That's right.
That's we fell.
And yes, as you arrived there, why don't you make a focus check? Yeah, using meditative.
right. So that's going to be a +5 plus.
Or if Llewellyn wants to aid this at all.
Oh, do you want to aid?
Obviously welcome to, since you're together, or not.
I mean, I have a 4 focus. Might be easier for me to make the check.
Oh yeah, actually, you have a great focus.
Okay, so
Sure.
you can aid him then.
I'll aid by giving him the +3.
Okay. I will. I think I'm just gonna leave my backgrounds in place. Okay. Then
All right. So that's a 7. Whoa, +6. All right. You are on top of it.
It's gonna happen.
So you
again.
notice 2 things. One of them is very easy to spot. There's a lot of blood.
Oh,
And yeah, there's a blood, a little bit of viscera, where you might expect a donkey to be, and then there's a lot of blood.
turned from a
But
little
then,
to a lot.
So much
from
blood.
that blood, you see a kind of a trail of blood, leading kind of up into the mountains, kind of where you came from, but not along the normal walking path, but just up into the rocks.
Llewellyn, I fear we may have no donkeys.
But you also notice something else. You also notice that there do appear to be some tracks leading away from the area as well, that look like a hooved animal has kind of fled. So which you figure might have happened is that maybe one of the donkeys was eaten by the drakes, but the other one at least managed to escape this area.
Can we do it with one?
One is better than none.
That's true. Can you find the one so we can have more than none?
You're like, I guess, and then see if we can follow that path.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you spot it pretty well, and it's fairly fresh. It is in the rocks, but you can see hoof prints in the dust. And so you follow it a little ways further down the hill, and do eventually come across one of the donkeys, kind of huddling under a rock ledge. It looks very scared and tired and cold, and just not in a good place, but alive.
I'm gonna feed it. I'm gonna assume it has some feed or something on it, and I'll just unstrap all that and feed it. And be like, oh, you've had a pretty hard day, haven't you, buddy?
All right. Why don't you make, or one of you at least make an influence check to kind of see if you can interact with the
I'll
donkey
give
without it
this to
freaking
you.
out.
I'll try it. We'll burn an owner on this. So I have a 4. A 4. Hey, yeah. I'm good at this.
All right. So yeah, I mean, the donkey is certainly freaked out, but yeah, you just approach it very calmly,
Carefully.
carefully. Yeah, as Llewellyn suggested, you pull out some feed, you feed it, and yeah, you manage to calm it down and get it to a good place where it is happy to see you and is welcoming whatever direction you might give it in order to get it off this mountain, ideally.
All right. Let's with the calmer donkey, let's try to get that back. I hope maybe the song will be done by then.
All right. Yeah, you're able to lead the donkey back up the hill, and yeah, by the time you come back, the Balrath is definitely asleep, sleeping fairly soundly.
Let's go.
And the drakes are mildly curious about the situation. They're all kind of like,
Okay.
you can kind of see, a few drake heads here and there, like kind of peering over the crevice, just kind of looking at what's going on down here. Maybe they're just enamored by the music as well.
Yeah, that definitely is it.
They're also now eyeing the donkey.
Oh
and,
no. No.
They're interested in its movements as well.
Can I
I don't
try
think she
to
feeds her
distract
pets.
them? Can I try to like distract them while maybe they tie the wagon to the one donkey?
So yeah, just a note here, which you may or may not remember from last time. This wagon is
No
like,
wounds,
yeah, fairly. I wouldn't call it destroyed, but it's fairly well broken. Right, it was kind of
Yes.
dropped from a high height, just like Derek was, and yeah, so the wheels, basically like the axles have broken, and there's like, yeah, the wooden frame is like kind of barely held together at this point. So yeah, like, I mean, you could strap a donkey to it, but a donkey is not going to be able to move it anywhere.
This is what I was shooting for. What if we drag the wagon all the way down the hill like a sled?
Go on.
And maybe we fight drakes off while we're on their way down off the sled until we get to the bottom, and then we think of something else.
Let me think of something else. The way you came, if you remember, you kind of went up over a mountain and then like went down into a valley and then like climbed up this next hill.
Yes.
So at least the way you came, yeah, that's probably not going to be the best plan, because you're going to get down into the valley and then not really have a route to pull the sled up.
All right.
What
if we just hide? Is there any hiding spots?
What if we take her loot and just play that and tell the dragons to lift it up out?
Oh,
Not her
yes,
loot, her flute.
practicing trying to control them.
Yeah. Like the flute ocarina thing.
Yeah, let's do that.
Narvis,
I'll
save us.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So she is asleep over here. I mean, we'll say this drake is kind of off the distance now. And yeah, like her horn her horn instrument is basically like strapped to her belt.
Okay. I'll look over to Amathea and say, can you gently, quietly, stealthily get that horn for me?
I'm pretty good at this. But I don't say that. I'm just gonna go get it.
All right.
Just wait with no word. But
Sure.
just a shuffle. Let's do it. With my 4 finesse. Oh, do I want to burn anything? Oh boy. No. Heart of the cards, 7.
7. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Narvis, can you make an influence check for me? Just to
Okay.
like, she's asleep, but I just want to know, like, I don't know how effective your sleeping song was.
Oh, it's super effective, my friend. She's in that REM sleep right now, dude. Deep, deep sleep.
Yeah, after 10 minutes, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, after that 10-minute song bored her halfway to death into unconsciousness.
Yeah, after the 13th chorus. So
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I'll just go no background check here.
All right.
Wait. Do I still have, why do I have Adrian's employee?
Yeah, you
I gave it
still
to
have
you.
his employee card, so you could certainly use that.
I gave it to you. I used it on a check, but I wanted to make
Yeah,
sure
because
that
you
had
don't have
access
to give
it.
it back until you want to, even after a roast.
Okay. I'll use can I use that card?
Sure.
That'll give me a +3, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I will draw with that in mind.
Okay. So you had a 4 influence +3, and then you flipped to 5. So that's
Yep.
12.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Super deep sleep.
Yes. So, Amathea, you do manage to remove the horn from the belt without waking the Valrath Kellen.
hooray. All right, so let's go back to my friend Narvis, and we're going
So
to give him the horn.
I take the horn very gingerly,
Yeah.
and
And now you're gonna make noise with it, huh?
Oh yeah, you might wake her up.
can I treat it like a French horn and like maybe put like a sock in on
Oh,
one
God.
end, so that it's kind of muted a little bit, gives it a softer tone, and then
Sure.
try to play it. And
Okay.
I'm gonna try to kind of carry over the knowledge that she taught me of how to kind of start training these drakes to do your bidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, just chord progressions or whatever that she was teaching me to do on my power lute. I'm gonna try to hit those same notes on the horn.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna need first of all. Okay, wait. So you've returned the employee card. I'm gonna need a finesse check to see how well you can adapt to this new instrument that you have never played before.
Can I use weird trick to play my guitar without hands? And no,
I'm not sure how you'd incorporate your weird trick into this.
fair enough.
It's worth a try.
Yeah, it's a guitar accompaniment with the horn. But no, I was mostly kidding on that. Let's do
Mostly.
this. I'm doing it. All right, here we go. Finesse. Boom.
Finesse. Okay, so that's a 6.
Oh no. Oh no. That's still pretty good. That's above
Yeah,
par.
it's not the worst.
Not the worst.
Well, you know,
It's okay.
I mean, you have never encountered this instrument before yesterday, in all of your training as a soothsayer. And so, you know, it is, you know, a wind instrument. Like you can get some idea of the holes and, like, you know, how covering them can change the tone and whatnot. But yeah, like it's rough going at first. And so you kind of mess around with it a little bit just to get your bearings. But it takes you a little bit longer than you would like to do so. And so you eventually get the hang of it. But the drakes at this point don't seem to be pleased. They seem to be quite agitated. And you notice that Kellen also is beginning to stir with all the sound that you are making. Yeah, that's where we are currently.
Uh-oh.
What do I do, guys?
How do we get out of this?
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you feel like you have you're like pretty good bearings on this at this point. So yeah, now if you would like to try to play the instruments, incorporating all of what you know, all of what you were taught, into actually like trying to, I don't know, what are you trying to communicate to the drakes?
I'm
You want
to
them to pick up the wagon and
yeah, we're your friends.
Friendly friends.
Kind of situation, that vibe. Like, we're friends, and we need to leave. Help us leave with this wagon.
Pick it up with your.
I'm not trying to
short
kind of. Yeah. I don't think I want to antagonize. Well, should I turn them against Kellen?
No, I don't think they're gonna go against her.
I don't know how smart they are. So yeah, I'm at this point. I'm not trying to antagonize them against their former master. I'm making it seem like, hey, we're Kellen's friends too. There's a change in plans. We just need to move this wagon for a while.
Okay. Sounds good. Make an influence check. And
can my teammates join me with their instruments for a jam band?
Yeah, they can certainly aid in this check. Obviously, yeah, I mean, it's going to make more noise, but Kellen seems to be on the verge of waking up now anyway.
It's okay. We're gonna wake up like the rudest cell phone alarm, like including her own instrument. Yeah, I'm in it.
Let's do it.
I'll just take a curse and give you a +3.
I'm giving you a +1. Also, Dark's infused.
All right.
So that's a +7 total. The jam band's coming together.
We are.
This is a moment, you guys.
This is our big gig.
Certainly is a moment.
If this fails, we're just gonna be doing gigs in the sky in heaven.
Doing gigs in heaven, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hitting it.
All right.
Ooh.
So that's 16 total.
Ooh.
Dude. Baller. We got this, you guys.
So yeah, like I said, you get your bearings on the horn, and then, like, you know, you nod to your bandmates, and then you just like hit it, and
I'll bust
Kellen
out some
snaps
King
awake.
Dean.
Bust outs. Anyway, yeah, Kellen snaps awake. Derek is also awake at this point, and she looks confused for a second, and then kind of dawns on her that she has been betrayed when she sees that you holding and playing her instrument. She kind of hisses to the drakes, but they look confused. You know, they're not sure who they're friends with anymore. And so her calls go unanswered. And you're rocking out here, and but it doesn't seem like the drakes are quite yet like ready to grab this wagon and drag it off or fly it off. Like they're still just kind of confused because she's trying to like command them to do stuff, and they're just like, what do we do? Who do we follow? What's going on?
I feel like you
Understandable
can fix their
mixed signals.
confusion by just killing her.
Oh,
you know, she arrives at the same conclusion.
Oh,
And
no.
so she snarls and pulls out some weapons, a sword and a dagger, and
Right.
looks like she's about to charge at you.
that's strange. I'm also pulling out some weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, what a coincidence!
Awkward. What's this faux pas?
One of us is going to have to change.
Yeah.
You can put your weapons down.
Yes. All right. Let's do this. Hey, at least we got the drakes out of
Yeah.
picture.
I feel
maybe
this feels way
temporary,
better.
maybe not, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, we can enter combat, and yeah, I will make, or you have a good idea that like if you stop playing the instruments, that she'll probably like regain control of the drakes.
Oh, let's not do that.
You're gonna
So
have to play a
how?
song every turn.
Yeah, how do we mechanically make that happen? Let's see.
Well, I
So
could still kind of spend cards, but use them to play instead of to do the thing on the card, right?
yeah. So essentially, yeah, you'll have to spend one action each round. So yeah, either just play your music, or if you have a song card that you want to play, you could play that as the playing a music action. Does that make sense?
I think so, but will that let her regain control of them, or will that maintain control? As long as I'm playing, they're confused, right?
Yeah. So either you're doing like each round, you'll have to either just do an action to do nothing, just like continue to play your song, or that action instead of doing nothing can be to play like a song action on one of your cards.
Yes.
Makes sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I can work with that.
And we'll say it has to be a main or a top action.
Top action.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Shall
we draw?
Yeah. So yeah, you can draw your cards, get into combat. And nobody has surprise because she's fully awake. But so yeah, we'll just get around now. No, what I need from behind my
Alice,
GM screen
big thing.
are there's like a deck of savage cards. All right. So has everyone picked their cards for combat?
No, but I will now.
Okay.
So, Isaac.
I'm gonna go early and stab the crap out of her, as I do.
As you do.
Yep.
Mr. Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
you said I can only play songs kind of thing, but to play them, I need my little song tokens, treble and bass
Right.
clef stuff.
Yep.
So can I still play the bottom cards of my other stuff that will
Yeah.
give me those?
Yeah. So you,
Yeah. Okay,
just
cool.
one action, one of your two actions has to be a song.
Cool.
For the your top action essentially has to be a song. So you can still perform bottom actions.
Excellent. That's what I was wondering. Thank you.
Yeah, the strategy for me is gonna just do damage. We are doing damage, folks.
Doing a murder.
Just do it a little murder.
Friendly murder.
All right. Everyone good to go? Looks like Llewellyn is up first.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up 2 over here, and I'm going to grant, I'm going to say strengthen.
Yep.
And then I'm going to discard the other card that I played to apply impending doom to our opponent here, so that they have disadvantage on attacks and attribute checks for 10 minutes.
Ah,
Seems like a long time.
All right. They have been doomed.
sufficiently doomed.
Okay. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's weird.
Dude, never mind.
Oh,
Oh, well.
it's coming for you now. You shouldn't have made us mad.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, it's not applying that. But anyway, she is doomed. Okay. And then Amathea's up.
All right. So, whoosh. I have a feeling we're gonna sprint over there as sprintingly as we can, and we're gonna stab her. Since she has none of her allies next to her,
Yeah.
that's 5. Also, I'm gonna use my poison dagger to just poison. So this is we'll make this like emerald-looking crystals that when they shatter, have covered in a strange, gooey, like awful liquid, caustic, just awful. So hopefully, if we don't draw poorly with this, hey, that's a 6 damage plus poison.
All right. Use this image and the poison.
Hooray!
She looks upset.
Oh,
by
she
that.
should be. She should be very upset.
All right, and then Narvis can go.
Yeah. Was my character moved? I thought I was closer to her before.
I think you've been there for a while.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. In that case, I am going to continue singing my song that will
Yeah.
keep the drakes off of us. And I was hoping to use my bottom action to thought I was 3 away from her, but I guess that is not true. So I'll just kind of move.
Yeah. So I mean, she already has disadvantage on all her attacks because of the doom. So muddling her wouldn't do much anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could
That's
move, or you could do this bottom action if you wanted.
Sorry,
It's-
I'm kind of lagging.
Oh. It's probably better to actually perform one of your actions because then you can get tokens, do
Yeah. So
more meaningful songs.
songs.
Yeah, let me do the bottom action of Singing Arrow, which is grant one ally within range 3, attack 2.
Well, so attack 2, range 3. So
Yeah.
you can give it to Amathea, but then she'll have disadvantage because she's adjacent.
That's better than
Still-
no attack.
Oh, and
Poison. Yeah, attack 3, so that's not bad.
yeah, I guess I'll. Can Adrian get it?
Oh, he's
Adrian's
not
better
within range 3 of
He's
anything.
not in the very range. I mean, yeah, I'll give it to Amathea. It's an extra attack, right? So
Yeah.
Yep.
it's only gravy.
All right, let's try this with disadvantage though. So
Yeah.
after poison, 2 damage.
Yep.
Not
You
bad.
are encouraged to follow up with another quick strike and
Narvis is very
do some more
encouraging.
damage.
Very metal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Narvis. Yeah. A Narvis
All
impersonation.
right, I'm gonna get a
Um,
base token.
As you stab into Kellen again, you do hear some screeching from above you. It seems like the drakes aren't happy that
Oh,
it's two groups that they're confused about are now fighting. And They're, they're just screeching at the moment.
oh no! They're gonna start. Okay. Play louder.
Have to play harder, you guys.
Set it to 11.
Okay, so that's it for you. Yeah,
Yep.
you can play a song. Why don't you make an influence check for me at this point, since it's your turn.
Oh, right. Let me go do that. Here we go.
Okay.
2 plus 4.
Yeah, so it's 6. All right, good to know. Good to know. Cool. All right, so now Kellen will act. And she is pretty singularly focused on Narvis and stopping
Damn
their
it.
song. And so she's actually going to yell and rush forward, and she's going to jump right into the fire
Oh my god.
To the fire.
just
And
to
the flames.
be cinematic. It looks like it singes her a bit, but she doesn't care. And she pulls out
Low
a
key
sword
badass though.
and just like does a big like chop straight across and attacks both you and Derek.
Oh my god. Oh no, Derek.
No, he has our money. Narvis, you're good too.
All right, so I've got disadvantage on all these attacks. So first, it's going to be attack against Narvis, and that's going to do 4 damage. Yeah, 4 damage.
Can I use a card for that?
Sure, can always lose a card.
From my hand, right?
Yeah.
And it goes into lost.
Yes.
Yikes. Okay.
All right, and then on Derek. Oh boy, Derek takes 5 damage.
Well, let me change that. I'm gonna change what I just dropped.
Derek screams. And,
Oh no.
runs into a corner and flops over. He's just like, "Don't hurt me now, please. I'm nobody. I'm nothing."
Oh no.
Derek, don't die.
All right. That's going to be the end of the round, but you do see at the end of the round one spitting drake fly down, and it looks hostile towards you. It has decided that it is friends with Kellen, and it wants to protect her.
More
Okay.
stuff to kill. More stuff to kill. I mean, no. I would never. More stuff to kill. Anyway, I think what we do is focus on Kellen.
Yeah.
I think so.
What is
No,
now
that's-
a new round?
Oh, I guess.
Actually, I feel like I should get away first before I hide.
Actually, we're gonna do it like.
Yeah, that seems like a plan. So we can kind of discuss plans, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys, I'm gonna continue playing, but I'm gonna probably jump on the other side of this wagon here.
That's
Mostly
fair.
just repositioning.
I'll try to block the path, so I'll be in the way,
Yeah.
and I'll
All right.
stab her.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we'll start out the round, and it looks like Amethea is going first.
Scoundrel fast.
Scoundrel
Uh,
fast.
Pitching the one card just strictly to move. And then an attack 5 this round. That's a rolling +1 into a -1. So that it levels out. 5 damage. 6 poison.
Okay.
We're gonna make them sapphire this time because I like blue.
Kellen is looking hurt at this point. I mean, hurt before, but that looks like that hurt too.
Stand down. She's not gonna listen, but you know.
That was a
We
good
can say
read.
it for dramatic effects. All right, that's me.
All right, Llewellyn is up again.
All right. I am. So she's standing in the flame over there, and I imagine it's probably hotter than she realized. So I'm going to gut shot her, and so that she starts to bleed out a little bit here.
Or yeah, imagine she's it's like the fire just kind of flares up, and she maybe catches on fire a little bit.
Like, and I'm just basically moving, and like there's a gout of flame that pops up from the embers, and it singes her a little bit. And yeah, so I do 2 minus 1 point, and
Okay.
they are bled.
All right, noted. She actually doesn't seem to be affected much by the catching on fire / bled.
Oh, okay. And then I'm just gonna run over here to the other side of the wagon and
All right.
try and survey the situation.
Oh, jeez. That's where I was gonna jump.
Taking Narvis's spot.
I can go
That's
here.
okay. I can go further. No, I can
mean-
go further than that. I gotta jump 4, so
Right.
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna end up
Narvis,
right
you're up.
next to you. Yeah, I'm gonna use my bottom action to do the jump 4 and jump way over here, hopefully out of her murderous rage range.
Right.
And for my top action, I'm going to continue playing this Drake song.
All right. I'm going to need another influence check from you.
All right, here we go.
Oh, no.
Oh no, this is
Uh-oh.
bad, you guys.
That's bad.
That seems
Yeah.
less good.
You stumble a bit as you jump over this wagon, and yeah, you can't quite keep the tune up as you do so, and it looks like the drakes are, at least temporarily, not on your side.
Guys.
And quick questions. It's just like the board game where once you get a null, you reshuffle, right?
Yeah, so at the start of the next round you'll reshuffle.
Okay.
Or I mean, you can
Got it.
reshuffle now because I don't think you'll be flipping over any more cards.
Okay, will do.
All right, so let's see. Kellen is up next, and it looks like she was prepared to take another swing at Narvis, but he has leapt out of the way, so she refocuses on to Amathea and just brings a big sword down on her instead.
First
This-
attack on me has disadvantage.
Well, yeah, all her attacks.
I guess, yeah, because she's muddled. Doesn't do anything.
You also do notice that she kind of like psychs herself up before the attack. Like the fire, like what Llewellyn thought was like a detriment to her by like flaring up the fire around her. She kind of uses it to just like pump herself up. She
Oh,
kind
dear.
of like raises her sword and just like yells, and like the fire is like raging all around her, and it's very intimidating.
It's pretty metal though, so
It is very metal.
Oops.
And then she just like fully brings a sword down on you, and she is strengthened, which will counteract the disadvantage. So we're gonna flip over one card, and that's gonna be 5 damage on you.
all right. If I take 5, I'm down to 4.
And oh, sorry, you are also wounded.
And I'm also wounded.
Yes.
Delicious.
Yummy.
That's what I wanted, guys.
All right, and then this Drake adds a little bit of insult to injury, and it rears up and shoots like a hard, gross lozenge at you. And this
Any of
is
those words.
going to do just 1 damage,
Okay.
but it hits you like just square in the face, and you get stunned.
Oh, that's just not optimal, guys.
That is not great.
So you are out of commission for a round
I am.
Oh dear.
and bleeding out.
No.
So enjoy that.
I will.
All right.
I'll just pitch cards instead of long resting.
Then at the end of the rounds, two more drakes have decided to join the fight against
Uh-oh.
you.
Not good.
Eh. What do we do here? Need to relocate.
Hmm. Should I boost your guys' damage or give myself more notes?
You should do one of them for sure.
What's that?
You should definitely do one of them for sure.
I guess I'll start boosting damage. Maybe you can burn
Yeah.
them down. Uh,
Okay, so we will this I think. My initiative is going to be move. I want to. I do this.
Oh, I see.
Let's do that.
You guys got this. I have faith in you. Probably.
Never a doubt.
Actually, with just realized with the. I'm gonna have to spend around anyway. I'm just gonna long rest actually.
You can't long rest.
The heal just burn the wound off. Just thinking about 2 turns
Okay.
of stuff. I'm like, we'll just do that. All right.
I thought there was no long rest in the RPG.
Yes.
Oh, there is no. There is
There
none.
is
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
long rest.
I'm like, wait, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Yeah, so we're gonna go with the initial strategy I did before. All right, no change.
All right. Cool. So, Llewellyn, you are up. Sorry, not Llewellyn. Narvis is up first.
Hell yeah. I'm going to play Intensifying Amplitude to help my buds out here with their damage.
Yep.
And for my top action, I'm gonna try to
Regain
bewilder
control of your song.
these breaks. Influence check, here it goes.
Okay.
Oh, it's a 6 total.
I mean, on these checks, you can use backgrounds if you want.
Oh, there's skill checks, huh?
Yeah.
Stuff
Can I try?
I mean,
can I
it's a
get
little late now, but
Yeah.
next round, if you're still alive.
next time? Next time it
Fool.
is.
What are you doing?
All right, Llewellyn is up. Then
Okey-dokey.
it's gonna get bad after that.
So you're
Gonna
plus 0 on this go.
Bad.
But
It's already bad, but it will get worse.
1, 2. Okay. So first, out of nowhere, a snake appears.
Whoa, a snake.
A snake. It's a snake.
It's
Oh, I love
danger
that.
noodle time.
Badger.
is his
Yeah.
name Snake?
Oh, the snake. Did I put that somewhere? I think it might be in this area. It's behind the DM screen, I think.
Doing?
Or over there. But anyway.
I
Not
feel like
play
your
with a
character
snake at the
needs to
moment.
get a tattoo of a snake now.
So we're just gonna put it right here.
All right. I think we
Okay.
should just use one of your tokens or something.
And then I'm going to actually, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to jump over this wagon.
Okay.
Namathea! And oh, hello, Snake. You're back. I
Just
really
like-
use your help right now. And I'm going to end my turn there.
Okay. All right. So now, Kellen is going to go. And you did successfully block her path to Narvis.
Yeah.
So, who is she going to attack instead?
Snake. Attack snake.
It had to
Oh,
choose
who
angry
said
at the
that? Where did
snake.
that come from? Where'd
Yeah,
that
I
sound-
think, I mean, her goal is still to go after Narvis. So she's going to move for basically around the snake. And then because that's the target that is available to her, she will start wailing on the snake. Believe she's still strengthened for this round. And she's gonna make 2 separate attacks on the snake.
Ooh.
Oh, farewell,
Uh,
snake.
The first one, it's gonna be 5 damage.
Farewell,
okay.
snake.
Well,
And
it's
then
still up.
the second one is going to be 3
That-
damage.
Nice. Snake, we could really use your.
Oh.
Play like a little montage of all the great times we had together.
Yeah, sad song in the background.
Singing to the snake.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh god.
Uh,
No.
let's see. I'm going to flip some cards for no reason. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Sounds
Okay.
good. If you did it for a reason, I'd be scared. But no, I feel so much better.
All right, so that snake is dead, but
Another snake.
no, the drakes don't seem happy that she killed a snake. They felt a kinship to it, as another reptile. From one reptile to another, they just didn't like
All
Such
part
a-
of the plan.
a brutal
Mhm.
murder of this.
Big brain move by Adrian right
Yeah.
there.
So they kind of just pause and they're like, "Wait, is she our friend?" And they don't seem to do anything this round.
They're back on the fence, you guys. Now it's my turn to bring him over to our side.
You gotta bring us home.
Yeah.
All right, so Amathea is going to take a point of damage from the wound, and then we'll lose the stun. And Eric is going to pull himself together and run over to the donkey, and he is going to try and get the donkey to safety.
He really loves those donkeys, man.
Just
I mean,
trying
you
to
still
save his
haven't
ass.
broken the news to him that one of his donkeys
Don't-
is dead.
don't
so.
tell This is not the time for that.
So,
Why
yeah,
is there
he's
only
like,
one?
don't worry about it. All right, that's the end of the round then. So we will move on to the next round.
Right.
Hey.
I'm being very defensive this round. I'm just gonna remove the poison, heal myself, and stuff. So I'll get back onto the damage train. Not this round, but next round.
Okay. Okay.
You're doing
Pretty sure
just-
she's coming after me, so I'm gonna try and hide. I don't have too fast of a card, but there you go. Hopefully, it still beats her.
You are adjacent. So then
Oh, let's see here. Oh, I swapped these cards around. What am I doing? There.
what I want? No, I'm gonna take this back. And no, I think that's yeah, I'll do this one. That's my best initiative card though. All right, we'll play that.
All right, so already looks like Narvis is up first.
Huzzah! I'm going to continue playing and then use my bottom action of hide in shadows to hide in shadows.
Oh
That's
my
fair.
gosh, what a plan.
Solid plan. Very solid.
All right, make an influence check.
All right, this time I'm gonna use. Oh, I can't use weird trick. That's with my loot.
I mean, you're familiar enough with this instrument now that you could do some tricks with it, I think.
Yeah,
you can't really play it behind your back because you've got to put it up to your mouth, but you can like. I don't know.
No, but maybe
what can you do with it?
Yeah, maybe like during one like a rest in the measure, I flip it up and catch it and continue playing kind of thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that sort of move is very impressive to Drake's. So
Right. I'll start doing very staccato notes to kind of like, use my tongue like a reptile, like
okay.
Very
I'll
short staccato notes. And yes, thank you for allowing that. All right, here we go.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh, it's another
There
2.
goes
Okay,
nothing.
so that's going to be an 8.
Yeah,
All right.
8 is great.
8 is something. It's good.
And with that, yeah, I'll I'll run up to the wagon and do like a backflip while I'm playing, and then like when I land, I disappear.
Where'd he go?
And hurt your
Where'd he
leg.
go?
That's why you
Yeah,
take the
yeah,
damage.
you hurt your leg a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so you take a point of damage. Yeah, flip over your weird trick card.
Okay, going down to 6 HPs.
Where are you moving at all, Iris?
No, he's just invisible.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oops. I actually picked up my character sheet.
Oh. All right, and then Amethea is next. So yeah, you take that point of damage, and I assume you're healing yourself.
I am.
Going invisible as well.
Yeah.
Sucks to be Llewellyn.
Yeah. See, we're invisible on the side of the wagon.
Wait, are you moving, Amethea?
Yeah.
If you stay where you are, I can let you recover 6 of your cards, of your discarded cards.
Okay, we'll hold still then. I'm just gonna go invisible. I have 8 discarded cards, so if you can allow me to recover 1, that's neat.
I believe Llewellyn is up next.
Oh, okay. Would setting a snare be just like an action that I can take on my turn?
Yeah, you can perform that in combat. Yeah, like any skill. So yeah, it would be it would just be an action. One of your actions.
I'll use the bottom half of dual shot to I'm like trying to hide behind the wagon, and I imagine like one of the wheels is probably kind of loose or something on it. And so if anyone steps into this space right here, they'll set off a trap and the wagon will partially fall on them or impede them potentially.
All right.
And so we'll just put my tracker there to remind you. It's no longer a snake. Now it's a tracker.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And then I will use the top half of teamwork. And me and Amethea can recover 6 discarded.
Oh, geez.
It's collectively 6 cards, right? Or no,
Uh,
you and all. I don't remember the intention of that card. I think it was supposed to be collective, but it's not written on there. So sure, yeah.
That's huge.
No, yeah, I feel like that is collective. If that's all right.
like 6 total among everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise,
fine.
yeah, that would be pretty strong.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. All right. Well, I'll take moral support, and what else do I really want? How many cards do you want to pull back?
I was gonna pull 3.
All right, I'll do 3.
That'll put me, that'll put me at an even number, and it's a 50-50 split. So
Yeah, that works well for me too. And I guess we'll take murderous stalker.
yeah, we do that. Okay.
And then I'll be perfectly fine where I'm standing. Nothing bad will happen. Where'd everybody go?
Solo. You're doing a solo. Drum solo. Let's go.
Oh no, I don't have my drums out.
All right, so no, before Kellen goes, the Drakes are gonna go. And they're just going to be spitting at you. I think they can all reach you where they are. These two will spit at Llewellyn, while this one will spit at Derek. And yeah, we'll do the 2 attacks on Llewellyn first. Let's see. All right. So
Guess they
first
made up
attack
their mind this way.
is going to be 2 damage on Llewellyn.
Okay.
Yeah, they've come back around to her side. They were just like a little stunned for one round that she had done that, but yeah. And then the other attack is going to miss Llewellyn. All right, and then the attack on Derek is also going to do 2 damage.
Derek, no.
All right, so then Kellen goes, and she is in a rage at this point, and looks around like she can't find Narvis anywhere. She's very upset about that, and so yeah, she just kind of quickly like swings back around, sees Llewellyn, and just like charges right into your snare. So what happens?
Mechanically, she has to make a finesse check or be stuck in the trap.
Oh, that's right. Okay. And which will immobilize
Difficulty
her.
of 5.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Yeah, she does not care about your snare.
Better on the trap than on me.
Does not care about
Yeah,
your snare.
exactly. It should not go against you. So
We're okay with that.
So yeah, the wagon kind of like snaps a bit and like a wheel kind of falls on her, but she just kind of like spins around and like kicks it out of the way. Like she just doesn't care at all.
Was I hit by another Drake too? Sorry.
There's a null.
Yeah, the other Drake missed you.
Sorry, because I saw a null and then a +0, so I was confused.
Yeah.
That must have been on. I don't know.
Yeah, the +0 is on Derek.
Oh, poor Derek.
All right, so yeah, she then brings her sword down upon you and does 5 damage.
Still strengthened.
Oh, you're right. She is not strengthened, so she does 5 damage.
So she does.
Ouch.
All right. Is that it for everybody? Oh, Derek, has grabbed a hold of his donkey at this point, and they are running off together to get away from this mess. But not like panicked running. Like they're just, I mean, Derek's in a bit of a panic, but yeah, it's mostly strategic. Just to actually they'll move forward, just to get out of the way, out of the fire of the drakes.
All right.
And yeah, that'll be the end of the round.
Okay. Whew.
Haven't seemed to have done much damage to Kellen for the last 2 rounds, but
I'm bringing it this time.
okay.
My invis falls off though, because it operates differently than Narvis's.
Yeah.
Have a card to pick?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like Amethea is up.
I'll move 2. And then attack 3. 5 and 6 if she's still poisoned.
Yep.
Ruby this time, because I like the idea of like a ruby dagger. I just like colors.
Nice. She's gonna
She's
look
looking pretty wounded at this point, but still very angry and alive. And then Llewellyn can go.
Okie dokie. What is the best plan here? I think I'm gonna just back up. Really want to give you advantage. I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, I am going to. The snake has been consorting with a friend, and I'm going to summon a jackal.
Right.
A random jackal pops out from underneath the wagon. What is in
From
this
underneath the
wagon?
wagon.
We're gonna put it behind me.
All right.
And then I'm going to back up over here and grant it strengthen.
Yeah.
Strong jackal.
All right.
That's the plan.
All right, Narvis, what you doing? Oh wait, at some point you made intensifying amplitude active. I don't remember.
I don't think any attacks have been made.
Well, Amethea just made an attack, so we'll say that was the +0.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Yeah, my plan. I feel like the smartest move would be to move 2 away from her. Kind of like the idea of doing the bottom action of tuning the outcome, just to curse her to get her more pissed off at me.
Okay.
What do you guys think? or just move away?
It's up to you. Or I don't know.
I feel like it'd be more in character to curse her, even though she could probably get to me in one round. It might be smarter to
Does
move
seem
away.
rather fast.
Yeah. How much did she move last time that I saw her? She moved like 4, right?
Yeah.
Play it smarter. Play it. Yeah.
Play it smart. Who
Point.
does that?
What's that?
So who plays it smart? Come on.
I know, right? Hey, you know what? If I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out and bang. I'm gonna curse her.
All right.
While
I
continuing
need
to
to
play
shuffle
the
this whole deck
Drake.
Well, singing an F5.
Yes.
A shrill F5.
Singing an FU. No.
Guess that would be a curse.
Yep. So I give her that curse, and
Things at
I
F5,
will
and I'm like,
do-
he is the chosen one.
yes.
All right, and I'm gonna need a influence check.
Yes, sir. Let's see here. I'm just gonna do it.
All right. Okay. You did it.
Yep. A 7.
7. Song's still going. That's everybody. Sure. Okay, so Kellen will activate first.
Do I lose my invisibility?
Yeah.
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 She finally gets a look at you and runs back over here
Do your worst.
to chop at you. Chop, chop, chop.
Did in fact do her worst.
Still has
and I need to-
disadvantage.
Whoa.
What do you need to do?
I need to do a short rest at the end of my turn. Is that?
Yeah. Well, at the end of the round. I mean, you could do it now. Well, actually, you should probably take the attacks first because you won't have the cards in your hands if you want to lose cards. That attack did 3 damage.
I'll take it.
And then the drakes will activate. You're nice and spread out, which is good news for you. Well, except that jackal. All right. Yeah, so basically all 3 drakes they actually seem like they're averting attacking Narvis because like they like Narvis.
They're still on the fence with me, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're all going to attack. Oh no, wait. Let's see. Hold on. Sorry. This is right. Okay. Okay, so this Drake is going to move up 1. And then they will all attack Amethea and the Jackal, just kind of like a big splash area. All right, so we will make these attacks. So we'll do Amethea, Jackal, Amethea, Jackal, Amethea, Jackal. So on Amethea's 1 damage, Jackal's 1 damage. Amethea misses. Jackal takes 2 damage. Luckily, these are only attack 1s. No more damage, and 2 more damage to the Jackal. So the Jackal takes 5 damage total, and Amethea takes 1.
So it's at 1
Could have
health.
been. Could have been.
Well, no.
It's still alive.
Still,
All good.
It retaliates, but obviously they're not in range, so.
Yeah. All right. Beric and his donkey kind of are starting to move into this little
And
alcove here.
Man.
And his donkey.
What a story, guys.
All right, let's do one more round here.
All right.
Then we'll need to stop for the day, but maybe you guys can finish this combat. See?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I think the RPG is the first time I've seen examples of this.
Oh, yeah. Got two cards with the same number.
What?
Mhm.
All right, so Amathea, you're up.
All right. Time to run over to her and attack, which I think is 3 + 2 + 1 + 1.
Yeah, this is attack 7. Oh no. Oh
Hell yeah.
no.
So they got 14 damage.
All right. That will do it.
Scoundrels! Excuse me.
Scoundrels.
Silent knives.
Yeah, so what happens here?
Okay, so I think like just the idea of like a whole like a crystal formation and spikes up like and kind of like an eruption surrounding her, like so it's to single her out, so to speak.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a
Alright.
crystal eruption.
So she just gets impaled on all these crystals that erupt around her.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she's just kind of like impaled and then just kind of slumps over. Bit of a
Nice. That's how I see him. See him. I see him.
She's just like
Um,
porcupined now with all these crystals.
yeah. Yeah, it's a little gruesome. But it gets the job done. So now is your opportunity. The drakes are now paused. They don't know what to do now. Their former master is now dead, but perhaps a new master is here.
Oh,
Mm.
perhaps,
over.
mayhaps.
Yeah,
So,
I mean now you can play your song uninterrupted now.
yeah,
So
unchallenged.
you're gonna need to bring it home in order to get
Yeah,
them
dude.
on your side, I think.
Because I finally generated the notes to do it, I was actually going to play Soothing Lullaby
Okay.
as well. So,
Sure.
just in case things go sour, that's what I'm doing with my top card.
Yeah. So you're kind of trying to soothe the drakes. I mean, they are very agitated at the moment, so that makes sense.
Of course, yes. I don't think any of my background cards make sense to use, so I'll just roll it.
All right. I mean, now that let's see. I mean, Llewellyn, if he wants to, can aid in this check. Now that combat has more or less ended.
Sure.
Oh, I'll take it.
Yeah, we're just gonna give you another curse there, and give you a +3. Oh,
All right.
You
Which
relay
goes in
your
after
tragic
I
backstory to the drakes.
yes, this is really gonna work. I feel like they're gonna really feel our plight here, and understand what we've been going through.
They better. Okay, here goes. Boom.
Boom. All right, so that's a total of 11.
Oh yeah.
All right, so the drakes seem to calm down.
Hooray.
They accept this new reality, and I mean,
I'm the captain now.
it'll take some practice, I'm sure, to kind of build your bond with them and maybe even start to communicate with them. But yeah, like, you know, you can kind of relay basic commands to them, and they seem somewhat willing to obey you to a certain extent. I feel like this moment definitely deserves a perk card for you, so I'm going to give you this card, which is, I'm realizing, way too big. Let's shrink that down a bit. So yeah, this is added to your deck permanently. It's rolling +1, or on any influence check you make, you'll get a +2.
Very nice.
Gosh, so broken.
Can the
Shuffle
next
that into
scene
your deck
be
as well.
us landing in town on this wagon being flown by drakes?
Well, I mean, Derek has some ideas about what to do next. But yeah, the Drake flight is fully in your control now, and Derek actually, thinks that it will be much faster to go just directly through the mountains. Not directly, like, basically, he knows of a shortcut through the mountains to get to Gloomhaven faster, so you don't have to return to Wayward.
Got it.
Fair enough.
Lead on.
All right, so yeah, we will continue that next time, question mark. This is the last like official game, like during the actual crowdfunding campaign, but we've talked a little bit about possibly continuing this post campaign and continuing to post the videos in future Hacker Kit updates. But yeah, we don't have to resolve that now. Don't have to put you on the spot, but we can discuss it over the next week or so and figure out if we want to continue the campaign. But that is where we will end it for now. Yeah, you've secured the wagon. You've secured a way to transport it, and you've befriended a bunch of drakes, which is super cool.
That is super cool.
And they hopefully aren't too mad that we killed a bunch of other ones. Or their other master. Whoops. Our bad.
You know, they respect it. It's a metal move. They respect the metalness of the whole situation.
Yes.
As drakes do.
We fly away into the sunset to the theme song of Through the Fire and Flames by Dragon Force. Close scene.
Perfect. All right, so let's take it back to this screen of us in our heads, and just one more time, tell us who you are and what you do, and or whatever you want to say. So yeah, I'm Isaac Childress, and yeah, this has been the old school playthrough of the Gloomhaven role-playing game. I've been the GM, and yeah, we've got a few days left now on the campaign, so go check it out if you haven't. I don't know how you couldn't have checked it out at this point if you're watching these, but I don't know, maybe you just randomly found this on YouTube. So yeah, go check that out, and yeah, Alice, why don't you?
I'm Alice. And I run a Gloomhaven Frosthaven channel called Rage Badger Gaming, and you should check it out on YouTube. Talk about it relentlessly. Thanks for having me on, by the way. This has been actually really fun.
Yeah, I have enjoyed it as well, despite all the technical difficulties we had today.
It happens.
Adrian, anything you want to say in closing?
Just want to say, join the festival. Thanks for having me. It's been fun. I don't think we've actually played a game together in like 20-something years. So
yeah, RPG. Yeah. Well, I remember like you joined like remotely for some of my D&D 4E games,
which
like
was
back in
one of the only times I played 4E.
The best edition.
Yeah. That was when was that? That was probably like 11, 12 years ago.
Ooh.
So,
I
but yeah.
won't agree that it's the best edition, but I will agree it got a lot of unnecessary hate.
Yeah.
Nice.
John.
Yes, sir. I'm John Arana, an old school friend of Isaac's. Yes, go buy the game. The RPG that, as you've probably seen today, is pretty fun and a hoot to play. So, thank you.
All right, that's gonna do it. Thank you everyone for tuning in and watching us. Yeah, just talk about metal music and things of that nature. So, yeah, that's it. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Maybe ?